the thing I was gonna say
Mm-hmm.
was that so Ethan, you just sent us the work in progress character sketches that you were working on.
Mm-hmm.
And I of course immediately sent them to my mom, who's been watching the VODs on YouTube. And she said, "You won't believe this. As I was watching all of you last week, I thought how great it would be to see the characters that they've been described. How uncanny! Ethan's amazing, isn't he?" So,
Wow.
So
Aw.
Snaps for Ben's mom. Thanks for
Yeah,
watching.
your mom is a woman of exceptional taste. And shout out.
Well,
to
now
her.
I want to meet your mom.
Yeah. I say we guest star your mom.
NPC.
Right?
Yeah.
NPC.
Does she stream?
Yeah.
She should be. She should play
not
your
streaming.
mom, like her suit
my God.
and Festival's mom.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know, a skeleton
A
came
demon
out of me,
skeleton
and then there's
Like, boys.
That's very
Yeah.
Adventure Time. A demon skeleton mom who just shows up randomly. Yeah.
Fantastic.
well, didn't we decide that she's just like a regular human who had like
Yes. No
changeling
questions
kids?
asked, none answered.
that's how it be.
backstory.
Like it just shit happens in seasons.
You know,
Keep is
Life
that
is
the whole world?
complicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seasons keep.
Sometimes they don't keep them.
It's true. Seasons keep.
Wow.
What, though,
And
is the question.
they gotta know when to
Nice.
fold them, right?
Yeah,
Know when to walk away.
yeah. The apocalypse in seasons keep is seasons fold.
Mhm, mhm.
Seasons fold. Seasons felled.
Seasons loss.
Should I show the map of Seasons Keep, Ethan, that you
Sure.
kind of playing around with?
Mhm.
So yeah, work in progress.
Working on a giant.
Yeah, we already started
Giant one.
recording.
All right.
Yeah, we're recording right now,
Sweet.
I believe. But
Yeah. Welcome to Seasons Keep, where the seasons are places and the dead don't die.
Where the seasons are kept.
Actually, I have a question about this map.
Sure.
Is this map supposed like? You know how like when you make an orb, is this an
Yeah.
orb? So like,
So
does that mean
we-
every continent touches at when you wrap it around? You know what I mean? Or is there more?
There's more. We can get into the nitty gritty of the world that Seasons Keep is
Ethan.
on. What?
Ethan.
What?
No, that
What?
was the sound of you getting far too excited.
I
We
know.
cannot get into
4
that right
hours
now.
later. All right,
yeah,
you make a very good point. To answer your question, the Mercator projections of a place that has different poles for different worlds that are inside the same world means that map making is an insane process, and lots of people give up in a huff. Seasons
Is
Keep is
Seasons
known as the
Keep a
cartographer's
sphere?
curse. It isn't a sphere. It's not on a flat world, and it's not on a sphere. It is a great oceanic world.
this is literally a picture. Ethan didn't draw this.
Yeah.
This is a photograph.
This is just a photograph of it. Yeah. If you take,
Wait, if it was an orb, they would all like very like, you know what I mean? Like if you like
Yeah.
wrap it around, like that would mean that all of the land masses are like, take all the four corners and make them touch. They're all
Yeah.
actually very close to each other at some point. I was like, that
Ethan, is there space, outer space in Seasons Keep? Is that a thing?
that is a question that will be answered years from now.
Oh, okay.
we have never looked in the sky.
I
Actually.
think,
Yeah,
I
there-
think we've
there
met
is-
Arthur.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-da.
There is outer space. A lot of their celestial bodies, the moon and the sun and some of the stars, are borrowed from Earth. No further answers.
So Earth doesn't
Great.
have them anymore.
Oh, it has
They
them.
share.
It has them.
They share it.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Cool.
they're streaming Alf like on Twitch, by the way.
Oh, we should just watch
What?
Alf, guys.
Oh my god,
Can
guys!
we do an
screw
Alf
this.
reaction stream
Hi,
New
as-
activity.
in
Let's
character?
eat some cats. Oh,
Sorry, I got distracted because I was like, oh yeah, you want me to open the right, I'm here.
open. Well, no. Now we're watching Alf, guys. This is now.
I mean,
That's the thing. He's the puppet. He eats cats. He's from another planet. I'm
right.
quite
He would
ashamed
fit
that I
right
don't-
in. That was my thought. Is can
Yeah.
I play an Alf in the Sometimes Kingdom?
You
And I
could
feel like the answer was
absolutely
yes.
play an elf. The character class to be added, the rights, includes a subclass of puppets. So Alf technically could be played as a puppet alien. I'm not sure if he could be played as an alien. That gets complicated.
I'm just gonna type wands into the chat.
Great.
Thank
So-
goodness.
So you remember to give us some wands.
Oh,
we haven't
yeah.
found any magical items.
It's true.
That is what I actually forgot to talk about earlier.
Oh, well, that's an important note. You got to get gear. Gear's good. We didn't really have much time for this in the beginning to do the equipment loadout at
I have a lot of
shop
gear.
of shops. Oh yeah, what's in your pack right now?
You want me to read the whole thing? I have it alphabetical.
Go nuts.
All right. Anvil for smashing weapons, bedroll and pillow, book and pen to write down secrets to eat, clothes, crowbar, drill, hammer, jerky times 10, rations times 10, rope 20 meters, sack containing 4 smaller bags, soap, tent, torch, and water skin.
You are prepared.
Yeah, it's a bag.
It's a demon Eagle Scout. That's fantastic.
I have way less things in my pack.
Well, you don't need to eat.
Travel light.
I guess technically I don't need to eat like food.
Yeah, but it's always handy to have it. Just because you don't have to doesn't mean you don't want to.
I guess technically since demons eat secrets, my jerky and rations are probably just like rolled up paper with something someone told me.
I like that. They have to be dehydrated and you can put some spices on them. Spicy secrets have a nice kick to them, and
They're just notes from politicians' aides where they've written down, you know what I mean? Like things that were overheard. But
like payola from.
Yeah. They're just compromat. Yeah.
Yeah. Ripped out sections from, overheard in New York / the Port of Turnip.
Yeah.
From the local magazine.
Actually, I'm realizing the rations are probably that, and the jerky is probably dehydrated fire, because demons also eat fire.
Fantastic.
Dehydrated fire.
I love it. Yeah.
Correct.
Dehydrated fire is correct. Excellent.
Ethan, make a note.
Yep. Note Ed. Yeah. Shout out to
actual note.
Yeah. Fasole's dehydrated fire. Cool. I can launch into it previously on if we want to get this party started, this adventuring party.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh man. It's upsetting how much I watched that. Anyway, previously on the House of Eaves, a team of adventurers has been hired by a group of workers of the Seasonal Pavilion, a group of season-themed haunted houses, to investigate the frightening problems besetting them, ironically, in the series of haunted houses on the autumn island of Copia. After a swift arrival via a ship crashing into a dock and a skeletal carriage ride, the team convened, met their representative, the ghost Mandibel, one of the workers of the haunted house, and set to work interviewing the haunted house workers and their manager, Arson Fahrenheiter. The adventurers quickly determined the timeline of events and that Arson was avoiding the truth, and investigated the grounds of the 4 seasonal haunted houses, discovering through magical insight that the missing undead actor, the skeleton barracks, had been sucked under the winter haunted house, the House of Freeze. With courage and with a cardboard lightning spell, they entered a heretofore unknown basement beneath all 4 haunted houses, held up by old wooden eaves and filled with hazardous walkways and rope bridges. There they discovered a sundered skeletal barracks, with a healer Bessemer, patched up enough to be carried. Walking on platforms over the coursing dark liquid below, the adventurers made their way to an orange door guided by a living flickering flame, leading them into the House of Breeze, the autumn haunted house. Inside, they encountered unreliable architecture, a steel door opening onto a flood of water, stairwells leading into pure darkness, and another flame, which Bessemer befriended. Fasole the Demon Knight used powers to pin down a promise by the clearly living structure, opening a dirt stairwell back into the exterior pavilion and short-circuiting its monkey paw shenanigans. Hirsute the Skeleton completed the rescue of Barrick and bade Barrick's farewell to find outside help by flinging him onto the lawn before returning to the flooded house. Bessemer cast a spell to explore the interior mind of the clearly living house, encountering a door flooded by the same dark liquid that coursed underneath the lower chamber. She began the process of connecting to and healing this liquid scar portal, and heard in the dark below a malicious and dramatic shriek that they were ruining everything. DCI Beans, the skunk investigator, a naturalist, and Fasole rescued Ixpenine, the talking Foley fox from the haunted house's attic, preventing him from being overtaken by sonic ectoplasm with the clever use of a synesthetic spell, who Hirsute then bundled outside to rescue as well. The party is now reunited, the haunted house actors rescued, and having clearly struck a nerve with someone or something within the house, have decided to continue onward to find out the root of what has been going on. Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun. And here's the map. Ethan, if you wanted to, I don't know if you want to talk over either of these maps to
Sure.
introduce the setting a little bit.
So the setting here right now is in the splendid port of Turnip on the western coast of Copia, the Autumn Island.
So somewhere
in the
over here.
Yeah, in the region of Brassica, the seasonal pavilion has been opened up as a goodwill gesture for all 4 seasons whose relations are currently strained. Yeah, right there, the little dot right there. Yeah, little bubble right there, bubble right there. I like it, right there. Perfect. I love it. Inside the seasonal pavilion are 4 haunted houses, 3 of which have been donated from the other seasonal islands. The House of Heat for summer, the House of Trees from spring, the House of Freeze from winter, and the House of Breeze for autumn. The House of Freeze was an overnight runaway success because it is a fully haunted, fully bespooked, fully poltergeist house with bleeding walls and fully preserved frozen exterior straight from the eastern shores of Interhart, the winter island. However, when things start going wrong in the pavilion, everybody is quick to blame the House of Freeze and Winter, and it's threatening to strain relations between the islands once again.
And correct me if I'm wrong, some of these houses were like magically or like brought over on like horse carts and stuff, like moving the house. And some of them, at least the House of Freeze was built from the ground up, they said, right?
The House of Breeze was built from the ground up by local artisans and unions. The House of Heat and Trees were brought over on carts and reassembled. And the House of Freeze was magically brought over in its entirety on a boat.
So it's really like the Venice Biennale, like architecture situation,
exactly.
But with magical haunted houses full of skeletons. It's the same thing.
Magical haunted houses full of skeletons, and then also other things.
Foley
it actually would be really cool to have like a spooky World's Fair.
Yeah, I like this vibe. Yeah.
Oh, and it's very important funnel cake.
Yeah, World's Fair was the thing I was trying to think of. I was like, there's something that they did that with. Yeah, the World's Fair. They just like.
Yeah,
or was it the prefab houses too?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Don't we have like prefab houses like in this world?
Yeah.
They just pick up a house and they just put it down.
There's no Bureau of Standards there, so everything's kind of regional. Sure.
So I meant this world as in where we the players live. Like they just have like a house, they put it on wheels, and they just like drop it off.
There you go. House ready to go.
No, they have all kinds of model buildings at used to at the World's Fairs. I don't know how World's Fairs are doing now, but there's the cool remains of one out in further Queens. Okay, so we are now in this house, I think.
Yeah, within the House of Breeze.
Okay.
A little local flavor.
And you kind of went over this, Ethan, but just because you visualized it.
So using a spell which brings down cardboard prop lightning from prop clouds from the prop heavens, I see Beans was able to rupture a hole in the ground, and then from there they descended into a heretofore unknown basement level beneath all 4 houses. And under over a series of rickety walkways and cool rope bridges around moss-covered walls, dripping water down into a flowing dark liquid below all of them. Found the actor skeleton in the middle of this sort of platform contraption, and then decided to make your way into the House of Breeze. Following piles of dead leaves and the strange microclimates that exist underneath these houses. Finding an orange door with a flame, made your way into the main entrance, and there had to deal with the sort of monkey's paw flavorings of a house, constantly rotating through, clearly making different things for you to experience, most of which seem to be either mischievous or malicious.
So, and we explored a little bit, sort of a lot of the house, and currently, to bring us back, we're all together again, Ethan, or are we still kind of scattered?
Together, either in the main entrance area or on the second floor landing, which is a very thin strip by wallpaper lit by a single flame, with staircases ascending high up into the ceiling and far down below, in an area that is much too black and expansive for what should just be a simple one-story start.
I forgot to mention, we left the actor and the fox outside, but when we left them outside, everyone wasn't there. No one was there. It was quiet.
Yeah. a little too quiet, or maybe
Did
just
we leave them in
adequately
like the
quiet.
outdoor version of the back rooms?
I hope not.
I think you tossed them onto the lawn.
Yeah, I did do that. Yes, that's how I described
So
it.
they're within the seasonal pavilion, but nobody else seemed to be around at the moment.
Okay. Well, let me know if you want the map back up.
It is a Stonehenge situation.
Maybe it'd be good to sort of ease back into like what each of us is doing, or I don't know, Ethan. What did you want us
Sure.
to? How do you want to kick this off?
So let's see. So at the moment, DCI Beans and Fasole Getsaruna are clopping their way down, or I guess skittering and clopping their way back down from the attic level after rescuing Espenine. Bessemer has concluded her brain candle spell, having used acoustic mental magic to start the process of healing whatever strange scar is affecting the house. It clearly had some positive effect, and then something within the house had a decidedly negative verbal reaction to it. But you are coming at the moment out of your meditative spell, and then also coming up from the bottom level, feet soaking wet from the partially flooded main area after you had opened a steel portal onto what seemed to be a large volume of water. Hirsute is making his way up onto the landing to meet the rest of you.
So, what have we learned? We're in a house, haunted. We kind of knew that.
It seems to attempt to absorb people into the foundation.
Right, that's not good.
The house
saying we
is
did
a
learn that.
person, and there are many psychological things about the person which Bessemer has learned. Which are we allowed to learn those due to doctor-patient confidentiality?
Are we even? I don't think I'm with you.
Are you? I think you're on the landing. I think you did the spell by
the landing.
The landing, and I think they are coming from the top floor and the bottom floor to meet you on the landing.
Okay, so
I think
are
we're
we
peeking
now
into your room to be like, is the session over?
A little, yeah. Are we?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Is your patient hour over? Is it? Yeah.
Unless you don't want
I
us
know
to be
that
there, I think we'd want to meet up.
No, I was just confused because I was like, I had the brain. I had the visuals, and I hadn't made you guys walk on the stairs in the visual yet. So it was a big
Curse you, flash animation, for not being
I
able to
know.
remember.
I know. No, I feel like as far as confidentiality goes in this situation, we're dealing with we're a part of a team. So I'd say as we congregate there's going to be an amount of sharing.
Does that mean I'm also a doctor?
No, that does not mean you're also a doctor.
I think you're more of like a nurse or like the tech.
Ah, the noble nurse.
Or like someone standing near the doctor.
The tech, yes.
It's not, you don't necessarily have to be in
the technician, yes.
The person, when you say scalpel, who brings the scalpel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, the sword master. The sword master is a very important part of every clinic.
And the person who wipes your disgusting sweat away from your disgusting skin.
Your filthy living skin.
Yeah.
Who's decided it's disgusting?
The filth master, yes.
Yeah,
the
the
sword
filth.
master and filth
I
master
forgot about that.
also train.
You
For
forgot
many-
I have those skin.
Well, okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
What was that face? Wait.
Also disgust. Disgust and confusion. One of the fundamental skunk emotions.
Do we feel like we want to talk to this house, challenge this house, maybe seduce this house? I'm just using verbs. You can just pick a
Kill
verb.
this house, help this house, assist this. We could use
Okay.
anything that has like a positive.
All right.
Screw
gotta be
the
honest.
house, love the house, marry the house.
I think our job
All of
here is
these
actually
things are
done. I know this
much
is episode
more
3 of 4.
He said metagaming.
But I think our job is actually done. We saved the people. We found out the house is evil or malicious, which doesn't necessarily mean evil.
The words evil or malicious when I described this to you. So that no, I don't think we found that out. Actually,
I feel like the what it was doing to the actor and to the fox were malicious.
What does the fox say about it?
That it wasn't having a good time, if I remember correctly.
I think that's all 3 times we've gotten that in now.
Yeah. One more to go.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hear one vote.
Half.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's cut a
Mike.
guy in half.
Right. That's clearly murder. We should arrest the house.
I don't think that anyone who's ever ripped a guy in half has done it because they were feeling well at the time.
I mean, what about that time? I don't know. Actually, we gotta pull.
Yeah, exactly.
Like turning to Vasel,
Go
which
ahead.
comes back to your suit.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but okay, we were feeling pretty good actually.
So I hear one vote from Hirsute to just leave, which is, there's funnel cake, there's booze, there is a forest full of wild berries and rotting meat, all the delectable things that people would expect at a fair. I hear one vote from Bessemer Neversing to heal the house. Bessemer, do you have an idea of how to do this? We have with us a nurse and a filth master or sword master, I think.
Filth master.
Filth master, okay. Not a
I
nurse.
despise swords.
Right.
In response, Bessemer drops her head, looks down, then looks up and says, "I do," and snaps.
I'm crossing my arms.
And then clearly the group gets it because everyone seems to want to snap along with me. So
I can't snap my paws.
No,
but you're trying.
I refuse.
And we start a song. And I start singing. So I make them do percussion and then there's music.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna need
what
you to actually start singing.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right.
Do we each suddenly have magically have instruments?
Ooh,
No,
that
we're-
would be fun. But I think right now it's the magic of the theater. So we're pretending that we have instruments. And then I kind of chaotically and with no real melody go, "How are you?" And then we wait to see if the house answers us.
Could you be chill?
Excellent.
I like that as an
2
addition.
people singing. That's a spring spell.
I don't have
Oh,
access to spring magic.
I don't
do
do spring magic.
So
Oh yeah, I am forbidden from spring magic.
That's right.
Oh, so
But
wait,
you can
what
still
happens now that
participate.
you're accidentally making
Well,
music?
you can still participate in it. You can't
Okay.
cast it yourself, but anybody can participate in a group spring spell.
are you actually using a spell?
Or were you simply singing?
I'm
I
just
didn't-
singing.
I thought you were just singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm singing.
Never
I
mind.
have the house has responded in an auditory capacity
Right.
on repeat. And now, but we've never done it like not in a intense moment. So now I'm just singing and seeing what happens.
So this is like the Close Encounters, like do 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 do, but you're doing like what you
100%.
think the house would want to hear,
Yeah.
which makes sense, like a theater show tunes. Got it. Beans is not helpful, but Wythe the player respects and likes this decision a lot.
Yeah, and Fazoli is just harmonizing with Hirsute.
Ooh.
Can you be chill?
Yeah. Can you be joking, bitch? Yeah.
Stop being an asshole.
And I think after her note ends, she just quietly goes, "Be chill, be chill." Be chill." Like she just like adds some little background flavor to whatever you guys did.
Do we hear a response?
There is a pregnant pause, and you hear somewhere, some water off of a shingle is dripping. Like there's a slight breeze from somewhere outside. You hear the house creaking and creaking, and then the floor starts vibrating, and then we decided there were spindles, right? They're called spindles. The spindles along the landing of the second floor start shaking a little bit. And it's not like, and then the whole house starts sort of rumbling a little bit. Rumble, rumble, rumble. And for some reason, you all, without a roll, can tell that it is not your typical haunted house. This is a jump scare, this is an angry thing. The house itself is responding in an ambiguous way. So the message is received. How it's communicating beyond rumbling at the moment seems vague, but a line of communication has been established.
Excellent.
So, Bessemer, during your travels, you had met a flickering flame,
Yes,
which had guided at the orange door, and then again on the landing. You had in your practice of healing, the flame had then decided that you were not a danger and had started moving towards you. With all of you grouped together now, the flame itself is starting to move from its area closer to you, and then almost like, I don't know how a flame would look around, but it seems to be taking in the whole party. And in taking in the whole party, tries to find an area that's sort of equidistant from all of you, and then starts moving down the landing. The spiral staircase, the sort of black stained wood and the elegant spiral staircase, it is slowly moving down.
I start moving.
I also start moving, following it, chasing after it in a playful way.
So as you're walking down the stairwell, as had been mentioned before, the first floor to the landing to the second floor, something happens to space in between the two. It seems, for instance, when you got into the third floor, it appeared much higher up on a much longer stairwell, and then going down also seems to be a much farther depth than should be possible just being a floor in between floors. And so in this very dark space on this spiral staircase, you are following this flickering flame down, and it becomes increasingly dark. And you are finding that you are not descending into the main area that you were in before, but you are descending into some other room. While you were up there, it had perhaps swapped out the room below, or perhaps this is the true form of the room. It's hard to say. But as you're getting closer, instead of a rumbling, you're hearing a clacking sound. And the flame starts flickering, and it is flickering in time with that clacking. And then the flame moves behind some kind of scrim at the very base of the stairwell. On a new
We're
floor.
in a castanet room.
Dun, 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 dun. The flickering and the clacking seem to be moving in time. And behind this scrim, suddenly the flickering of an image starts to form, almost like it is coming in and out of focus. It is a screen with a flickering image on it. And the image that is projected onto the scrim, which is quite wide and quite tall, the light is struggling to get itself bright enough to make this happen, but the room is so dark. Once you adjust to it, it is showing the image of a house. And that house is much larger than any of the pavilion houses, which are deliberately quite charming and quite navigable by people. It is showing a dim and flickering image of a house that is quite grand and quite old. The image has got very poor resolution, now that you would know what the word resolution is. It is a little bit more something in between a very, very, very old film and a magic lantern. The film is not in black and white. It is in orange and blue. And the movie, I suppose it could be called, as it is a moving picture, of this house starts to rotate. Like there is somebody walking around the view of this house. And that view is moving towards the opening. The door opens up inside this grand house. And inside is a great grand ballroom, a great grand entrance hallway with a beautiful black spiral staircase similar to the one in the House of Breeze. In fact, the entire room itself, as you can barely make out with this admittedly not very good quality flickering image, seems to be a much grander and much more realistic version of the House of Eaves itself. There are very tall paintings of sinister looking figures high up on a landing, and there is one great staircase spiraling out from dark green wooden floors. The view of this screen then moves forward and forward, and a door opens up. And out of that door walks a woman, with a very tall woman with very fiery red hair. It is Arson Fahrenheither, the manager of the haunted houses. And she's talking to somebody. You can't quite make out who she's talking to, but it is a very tall figure, cloaked in a handsome greatcoat of some kind with a shawl. And then it suddenly switches from this image to all black. And there are words that appear on the screen in quotation marks. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be in a language that you know. They are very scary, black and white cryptic images. It is trying to say something of what they are saying, but you cannot read it. And then it switches back to the view of these two people, Arson Fahrenheither and this very tall person in this sumptuous cloak. And they shake hands. And the image fades to black.
Question.
Go.
All right, so when you said it's like, instead of black and white, it's orange and blue, do you mean like night vision goggles, but you change the spectrum to be between orange and blue?
It's more like, it's a little like that. It's also a little like an old black and white film, but instead of being black and white, it's orange and blue. But it does have that sort of feeling of it not just being a film, which is, it's not likely unless any of you know somebody who's Reggie or have seen one of the few movies that exist in Seasons Keep. This was a very enchanting sort of flickering moving picture of some sort. What a really fantastic looking pantomime of either magic or non-magical origin. But there was something very similar to what you're just saying. It seems that somebody was seeing this happening. Like this was from somebody's point of view.
It's like a movie of their vision.
It's a movie of their vision. That's a perfect way to put it.
By the flame.
Yeah.
By the Mets colored flame.
By the Mets colored flame. I would have also
Just all
accepted
tracking
New York
shots,
Knicks.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Flame.
Yes.
What a beautiful shadow puppet show.
Please come back so I can chase you adorably in a circle, as detectives always do when investigating crimes.
That is how detective work works. So out from behind that screen comes the flame, very flickering and very hesitant. And it goes back from flickering back to its constant candle-like flame state. Moves back towards the group and seems very, very shy suddenly.
Oh. I cup my little hands. I want to give it a hug.
I think you should let go of her, bro. I don't think she's good for you. She's kind of like really focused on her career. And I don't think she has time for you.
The candle? I don't know.
I
If
tell
so
the flame. I say, you've done well.
I'm talking about the house and arson. Houses and arson do not mix.
Everyone goes,
not in a good place. Not in a good way.
So, Flame, are you capable of communicating with us? If so, do something playful and fun.
Can you stop flirting with the flame? Actually,
It's mesmerizing.
The flame spins around in a circle very, very fast to make a ring of fire. Unless we say love is a burning flame. And it makes a fiery rain. and then it pieces itself down onto the floor, and it grows into a very bright column, a very incandescent bright column. And as it gets taller, it is trying to get as tall as DCI Beans, the skunk investigator, and then it is stretching and stretching and trying to become as tall as her suit. Looks over at Fasole, and then is trying to stretch wider and broader, like his armored shoulders. It is trying to make some sort of visual version of like a person, and is stretching out farther, and as it's doing so, is getting brighter and brighter, and is too bright to look at. The flame is continuing to brighten.
Fasole very gingerly takes off his helmet and offers it to the flame to put on, to maybe to dim it a little bit.
The flame, the helmet puts directly onto the flame, which is supported by it, and suddenly there is a high contrast image. There is the dark helmet lit by whatever shape the frontispiece of the helmet is in, light streaming out of it, and flames are coming to the sides. This flame...
Are there little flame horns coming out of the horn holes?
I think if he's trying to mimic you, then absolutely. So this flame is a particular variant of demon folk called an imp. That you would be familiar with imps coming from the hierarch of Demonhead. They are not specifically demons in the sense that they don't, they're not card-carrying members of an organization. They don't pay taxes, but occasionally, if allowed, they will suffer to be summoned by people to aid them in whatever they are doing. And so this imp is made out of living flame. It's kind of too bright, like obnoxiously bright to look at, but at the very least now at head level, there's a little bit of a diminishment, and it has created sort of a mimicked person form. And it starts to wobble in a very grotesque way, like it's trying to make the visual of walking, as it starts lurching and moving with this clanking helmet towards the darkness of this new room, towards a very, very dark hallway, which is now lighting up the sides of. And you can see, because of its bright shape and its bright, resplendent new form, that the walls are rotted and decayed, and the wallpaper is peeling, and there is a dark liquid that is dripping from the areas, and the wallpaper is clearly quite old, and the flooring is rotted and gross, but it is motioning you to go onward with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna do a cannonball.
I mean, is it worth rolling? Can we roll, I guess, either will or reason to see, does this seem dangerous? Like this thing is tricking us? Or...
I don't really care.
I mean, I don't really care, but I feel like...
yeah, what is the skeptical investigator on naturalist decide? Yeah.
Is it possible to roll just like,
Absolutely.
What is going on? A demon is leading us into the unknown. Seems like weird.
Now that you're... Yeah, I feel like now that it is more of a... Like it is making human-like motions, it is something like you can use your keen instincts and judge of character to determine or attempt to determine what is.
So
what is
Ethan, am I rolling will or reason to like induce things from facts I've gleaned by?
I think you will be using reason for this one.
Okay. I got a 1.
Boy, what a flame! What a spectacle! He thinks he's people. It's really great.
Oh, look at what it does with its little flame toes.
Little flames.
Little flame toes.
I'm
Actually,
hypnotized.
Is there a way to track one of you who aren't bored by magic, such as I, to identify the summoner of the imp?
Oh.
That's a really good question. I mean, Bessemer should do it. Beans does not say that. Beans is just chasing the flames.
Yeah,
Well, I said it.
I think it might. So, in watching DCI Beans try to decide to make sure that things are okay and be categorically prevented in doing so by his skunkedness and needing to play with this flame, it occurs to me that I can't just do things the way that I would do them when I'm with a group. So I can't just go, oh, I don't believe in anything positive or negative. I'm just going. I realize that the well-being of others matters. And this causes me to take pause for just a moment. And it occurs to me that exactly, we should probably see if we can figure out who has summoned the imp. And I feel like Bixby can help with this. So I reach.
Yep.
I don't know how, but I feel it. And so I reach into my knapsack and I pull out a paper towel roll.
So this paper towel roll is an object from the regular world, from Earth, a strange artifact from a place with a bizarre industrial economy that makes things that are entirely disposable. But this particular roll of toilet paper, or this roll of paper towel, is not disposable. This is Bixby, a small animatic, a small imp-like creature who spends most of its time, according to, I think, the sheet, cowering in Bessemer's knapsack. But at this moment in time, comes out. It doesn't have a face, but it does seem to have a creepy little paper towel-like mouth, little limbs. It's not cartoon, which makes it much more creepy.
The mouth, I assume, is like a little horizontal perforation.
Yeah, like a little,
just
like, and it, it looks, it sort of like it turns. You can see cylindrically. It looks around and it says, "I don't like it in here, miss."
I know, love. I know. It's a bit scary, isn't it?
I don't like it. What is I was organizing your knapsack. Is there anything? What can I help with? I'll get back to organizing it.
That's so nice. I really appreciate that from you. Thank
it's
you.
a thing to do. Idle hands and all that.
This is really unsettling, brother.
I'm just going with the flow, brother.
I just, this seems super fucked up. I don't know what the relationship is, but I don't like it.
I don't want to know either. But I
welcome to the return of the repressed. Yeah,
it seems like a "can I have some treats, mother" type shit, and I don't like it.
Yes, I think if it says "can I have some treats, mother," we should probably retreat.
Intervene in some way. A paper towel intervention.
Do you see that large walking bit of fire up there?
Oh, the one flailing around randomly, walking and bashing around. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see him.
Excellent, love. Do you? I think it'd be important to know who brought this particular blaze into our lives. Do you have any ideas?
I can attempt it.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. You're so good.
You want to douse it in gasoline first?
If you had any.
Say you're setting a paper towel to a flame. I don't know.
Yeah. Is this so? Have we seen Bixby before? The other characters?
No, this was familiar? Yeah, this is a small familiar with a very, very small amount of grit and a couple of little abilities that's been sort of keyed up. Let's see. So first off, Bixby looks around the group. Is anybody here a naturalist? Does anyone here have a no? Okay.
Yes, that is what I am technically.
Well, you might be familiar with just instant KO, just over all life.
Just give up, yeah.
One one of the main premises of Season's Keep and the Sometimes Kingdom is that a lot of fantasy sort of like classic things are not inverted, but like they are realistic in the sense that like meeting an animated like ambulatory piece of furniture or small object would actually be really uncanny and quite awful in the real world, but it's totally normal.
Yeah,
the dead don't die. That's actually the least creepy thing here. It's not true that the dead don't die. They can just sort of not die if they want to. Anyway.
So you needed an unnaturalist. I am your
So
person.
if you there's a bit of a thing called it's a demon recall. It's a spell. I can't quite do it myself, but I can do a little bit of jiggery. And I can look up essentially the index of other summons. It shouldn't be too many in a very small area. I can just sort of localize it. And,
you want me to cast demon recall for you?
Yeah, I can assist you. I can lend you some grit on this one. Which is a word that I don't know.
Grit,
but I can lend you a hand on this one. Certainly.
I'm almost out of grit anyway, so that would be great.
Yeah.
Yes,
Brother,
I know
they're
how
talking
to
in mechanics.
I know how to summon demons. That's something every police officer knows. It's one of the first things you learn as a reeve or bailiff in a medieval society is how to summon and abjure demons. So I will do this, but I am feeling peckish, tired, horny, things that skunks feel. So
yes.
If you can help me.
The basic hierarchy of needs. Yes, I understand.
Right.
But I've been learning about these.
Yes, okay, Ethan, do you want me to roll for the grit cost or not? I do not. I probably don't have enough. It's random, so I might have enough, but
So you can roll for the grit cost.
Okay.
And then most of it can probably be supplemented by Bixby. So let's see what happens.
Let's hope it's another one. Oop. Sorry, I keep rolling off the table. It's a 5.
It's a 5, so it's a 5.
So I only have 4 grit.
Okay, so Bixby is going to lend you 4 grit. That's going to basically aid this with a spring spell.
So I end up with 3 in the end.
You end up with 3 in the end.
Great.
If you would like to do it, you don't have to.
I just did it.
I
am rolling charm to intimidate a demon.
Okay.
Right. According to the power.
Indeed. Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll my d10.
Yeah.
And hope I am charming enough / intimidating enough. I got a 5.
You are in luck. This demon rolled a 3.
I used my cop powers to command the demon to obey the law, which demons must do, being law-like creatures.
Yeah. So Bixby, who now looks visibly very tired, has sort of lent you this, and the flame turns around a little bit, is a little bit wobbly, it's a little bit wired, it's a little bit odd. And there is there's a flame jet that comes out of it, just like a column of flame. And then out of that, flickering from the side down, almost like it's been tossed behind it, is a little piece of charred paper. And on that charred paper is something written in the same weird glyphs and letters that you saw in the movie. However, it's something that Fasole would be able to read because it is written in demon shorthand.
Oh, great. What does it say in demon shorthand?
It says house. It says house Eaves.
That's where we are.
Yeah, this particular imp was summoned by the house itself. So if there were any questions, any questions as to whether the house is alive or sentient at this point, only a sentient person could do this sort of summoning.
The fire of the house.
Fire of the house.
The house summoned it. The house summoned the imp.
It's the fire of the house.
The imp. Yeah.
The house summoned house. You wanted the imp here to do a movie for us, so we could watch the union actor person talk to someone.
Yeah, that's
pretty much.
There's sort of like a shaking, like a really eerie nodding of the house.
So, do you need us to kill the tall guy and you'll stop being all uber chill, or do you want us to tell the woman that you love her, what's?
Or are you the tall guy?
Yeah.
Oh, the flame goes. No,
We
This
could
is
also
like a
just
Dan
hang
Harmon
out.
Monster
No,
House
not that
situation.
not the hall. So yeah, it's nodding confusingly to everything except like it is not tall person, not at all.
Okay, so you love the lady, you hate the tall person. No, you don't love the lady.
It's moving around like one of those.
Are they
one of
wearing
those inflatable
glasses?
What?
It's doing guess
Okay,
who.
all right. Do they have
It's Guess
blonde
Who.
hair?
Oh, got it. Gosh, I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't know that instantly, being a lover of 80s toys, or was that
This
90s?
is what we're
Anyway.
doing. We're doing sort of a guess who for
Guess
what
who? Oh yeah.
Ian
So
wants.
then sort of okay. So it stomps behind the scream again, and it started like it makes like a little shadow play of a person, like it's playing 20 questions or something with you with it.
Do we recognize the silhouette at all? Should we roll? For that?
It's trying. It is made a tall woman with flame red hair. Just the sort of outline of it, and the hair is actually flamed and fiery because this is a fire making it.
I guess we're gonna have to kill her, right? That's
So the
what we're
red-haired
getting.
woman. Why don't we take it one step at a time? So the red-haired woman.
Arson.
Indeed, arson. Yes, flame. Have we got it? Flash once for yes, 2 for no.
It flicks out, and when it flicks out to do the flashing, the entire room goes dark, and then flicks
Alright.
back on again.
Bloodletting.
It is completely neutral on the subject.
All right, so it could still be involved. Sacrifice?
It's sort of trying to make like a query, like putting its head to the side, like a question mark, like sacrifice.
Like we throw her into the fireplace.
It's still very neutral on this subject.
Do you want her to die?
Doesn't answer yes or no. Doesn't seem to have an opinion about that.
But it seems no is on the table.
But
Seems
also
killing
not.
her
Is there something you'd like to happen?
It thinks and it sort of like it flickers to say yes again, and the house goes completely dark as it does it. Comes back around. And the image has changed not after yes, and it is saying it is trying to make the shape in silhouette of the cloaked figure.
Do you know who the cloaked figure is?
It clicks back off again and back on. Okay. Total darkness, and then back again. It does.
And you'd like us to interact with them in some capacity?
Yeah. It flickers back off in total darkness and flickers back on again. The light is a little dimmer than it was before. This whole area is a lot dimmer. Your eyes have adjusted to it, so maybe you didn't quite notice until now.
Didn't
Facility
notice.
retrieves his helmet so it can be brighter.
Yeah.
He puts it on and it's way too hot.
That is the perfect vibe. Excellent. Shut up. You're moving the Ouija board, Flame. Shut up. You are.
Okay, so where are they?
It forms a vague sort of flame-like arrow pointing down a hallway inside this new dark-stained wood room.
Are they okay?
Sort of turns head to one side, and then says, trying to do no. I guess it does 2 flickers or something. I hadn't quite figured it out. Yeah.
What do they need?
This flame then sort of. Which one of you has a visible weapon? Fasole, do you have the hammer on you?
It's not a weapon.
That's right. Of course.
I guess my gun is in my bag,
Yeah.
so not visible.
Yeah, so it makes not knowing that whether it's a weapon or not makes the silhouette of a hammer and starts.
Oh, he wants to murder her. Okay.
There's a Then it
How
flicks.
barbaric! With a hammer, a tool, not a weapon.
Yeah, so it flicks out to agree with you. And the room flicks out and it's dark. And then when it flicks back on again, there are two glowing eyes inside a figure with very large hands, which is standing right next to all of you.
You're aware that she's a ghost, right?
I knew this was going to happen at some point. I'm so excited. I say that.
Oh, you say that? Just.
I knew someone would be standing here one of the times the lights came back on. This is very good.
The thing is, it stands there about 10 feet tall. It has a very large head. It has two glowing eyes. It has very large hands, which seem to be sort of end in claws, and it's got very large feet. It seems to be dressed in rags that are made out of what look to be the same dark, rotting wallpaper that's all around you in this darkened room. And it is breathing very slowly.
Hello, friend.
Do you have a breathing disorder with which you need help? We may be able to help you.
Yeah, like you need a CPAP machine.
This is what. Well, it's in a sort of quasi-historical
contrapulatory,
time, so.
yes, a pneumatic breathematorium.
Yes.
Yes.
We could just
I was thinking
boil
like a little water wheel
on
that I
the
get a
imp,
hamster
and you
friend
can sort
to
of
run with.
inhale the vapor. It's very good for the lungs.
Is this thing obviously like a scary monster, Ethan? Like, should we be intimidated, or
I mean, I think that if you were intimidated by the giant on the first on the episode 1 when you met one of the haunted house workers, the giant coming out of the big door, I believe DCI Beans was quite frightened by it coming out. So I think that Beans is definitely frightened by this. I'm not sure about the rest of the characters. You guys can all. Y'all can roll for that if you'd like to.
Beans is frightened by no one, being a trained
That's true. That's so true. I
definitely afraid.
Absolutely.
I have a question. Do I also have any alcohol in my healing pouch?
Let me look at your sheet, actually. I mean, you've got rubbing alcohol.
Excellent. I would like to make a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
And
rubbing
sit with this large shadow figure, and for a round of mountain grog.
That is going to be a gruesome cocktail.
Mm-hmm. I had another option, and I went, no, this one's way more fun.
So for the power,
cocktail's
for the
name is
alienist, the alienist vocation has the power round of mountain grog, which you can sit with someone, share a drink, and ease their troubles. The more people, the higher the cost. So let's see. You would need to burn one of your silver coins if you have one, because there is one person, and then But first, I think you need to proffer an ask. So yeah, you can try this out. I don't think that rubbing alcohol in this world has the whatever filling it has in our world that makes you instantly throw up from it, so that people can't make alcohol from it. So
sipping blizzard.
But I assume it's like really strong alcohol, right? Like
really, really strong. I mean, if this is from your healing kit, that's going to be what, like?
It's all I've got.
90 proof?
We're working with what we have.
Yeah, that's what you got.
It's you have it or you don't, and that is how I operate. So
it's much better that you didn't ask anybody else for alcohol in the group. It's so much better.
Well, I thought about it, and then I decided I didn't care. So
Yeah, any alcohol that the three of us come up with would not be safe for human or
that's very
most
true.
Consumption.
I love rancid berries. So.
I know.
Oh, actually, all of you might want to try this.
Weird wine.
Ethan, how does this playing out? Is the ghost like watching Bessemer make a cocktail, and we're all just kind of cracking wise, and the ghost is like,
it depends how
or is it like attacking?
It is standing there doing nothing except breathing with its glowing eyes. It is not necessarily. I will say it might not be a ghost because it is material. It is not translucent. It doesn't have the sort of optical effect glow that ghosts tend to have. It could be, but most likely it is not. It is most likely standing there.
So I now have 159 silver
Okay, so you are that's right. You guys didn't do item shopping at all. Yeah, so you if you want to with that amount, you could probably make one for everybody here.
Yeah, I'd like to make a bloody gut-ripping cocktail for everyone here.
Guess what? You're all about to gain a little bit of grit. It is standing there. It doesn't seem to be curious. Also, it is just literally standing there breathing with these great lungs. And the flame doesn't seem to be perturbed by it at all. It's also sort of sloped over. Its hands are like this. It doesn't seem to really be made out of flesh.
The ask that I proffer, as I approach and like awkwardly try to decide if I'm going to try and hand it like a thing to hold, and if it will hold on to that or not, or if I'm just going to tip it.
Oh, so you're showing it. So
I'm like,
do you pass it around to the group first?
Yeah. Everyone's got them, and I'm like trying to help them cheers with us. And,
wait, hang on. I gotta take everything out of my rib cage first.
Okay.
I immediately spill it and start licking it off the floor.
Excellent. I say, make eye contact or it's unlucky.
Actually, are you? Wait, you said you're licking it off the floor?
Yes.
Roll a will check for me.
Oh, great.
Uh-oh,
you weren't allowed to eat the house.
Well, no one tells me anything. 3.
Yeah, so you lick up the alcohol, and it tastes just as firecracker as you thought it was gonna. As everybody starts, I guess, like doing a little bit of small talk, and getting I think based on your level 2 grit per person, for this. As you're sitting there, also, Beans, you are starting to see something almost like there's something there that you couldn't see before. What's the word for it? In a movie, like when there's cross dissolve and sort of something is like interposed on something. Yeah, this is
like
you're thinking about
tripping?
this is, yeah, not quite
like
tripping.
when your mom like exposed film multiple times. She ran the film through the camera multiple times when you were young, and you ended up with photos of 2 different
of you
parties
superimposed
in the
over
90s.
circus. Yeah, so nice.
Creepy.
Did your mom work for Canon?
No, thank God my mom did not work for Canon.
Did she work at
I regain 2 grit though?
You regain 2 grit.
Okay, but I'm tripping.
You're starting.
Oh
yeah,
my
you're
God, I
tripping.
gotta not knock this
You're
over
like
again.
starting to see. There's something about the wallpaper that is really fucking you up. It's like it doesn't like, and this creature is wearing the wallpaper too. Like there's something about the pattern that seems to be like it's kind of an after image.
I try to warn the group that we've been drugged, and to watch out. But I think all that comes out is wallpaper.
Fasole is dipping one of his sticks of dehydrated fire into the alcohol, which of course lights it on fire.
Bursts it on fire, so now you've got a nice flaming cocktail.
Exactly, and sort of takes a bite, takes a sip, and says, "Beans is right. That's some good shit."
I guess I drink it. Doesn't it just pass through me?
Yeah, you can enjoy the experience if your character does, but it'll pass through your.
So it also falls on the floor.
Yeah, it'll fall on the floor too.
Do I have to roll?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, cool.
If you lick it back up off the floor, then perhaps.
I'm not doing that. That's beneath me. Literally, because I'm standing.
Yeah.
Beans, if you need a second one.
Gross.
I don't know how to communicate in this state, perhaps, but I'm trying to like enter the new wallpaper zone. Like I think I'm swimming, like in Mario, but how that would look when a skunk is doing it.
So like a
rip-off
Genesis.
Is the non-ghost very physicalized wallpaper?
Yeah,
being,
the creature is looking at you all and like looks at Beans and like is nodding like yeah, and then takes a sip of it and is thinking, and lo and behold, a little bit of the rotting wallpaper on it sort of like it stitches itself up just a little bit. Some of the rot on the wallpaper is putting itself back together. It's whatever awful, I don't know, floral or calico pattern. What's a really off-putting kind of wallpaper? Calico. We're gonna say calico. Find calico off-putting. It's a calico wallpaper, and it's starting to resolve itself back into like out of rotted rags into itself, and it says, and it blinks, and as it's blinking, images start forming on the walls, like its eyes are starting to project stuff. And it turns and it starts lumbering down one of the hallways, projecting images.
I'm just fascinated as a body witch, mind healer. I'm just like in absolute nerd ecstasy right now. I'm like, my jaw is on the floor, not literally. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm like if I was at my first dissection as an anatomy student, like just absolutely in it.
Are you going to follow?
Inappropriate to everyone else? Like, yes, no question. I'm very, very excited.
It starts lumbering down one of the darkened corridors, lighting it as it go with its big eyes, like stomping on the floor, and you are following after it. Beans. You are looking at the patterns, and you are seeing in your altered state that the patterns of the wallpaper are following after them. That they are starting to bunch up on the walls. Like, you don't know if this is happening or not, but the patterns are following after all of them.
They're not playing with me. They're following the others.
They're following. Yeah, they are following. They are following this creature, and they are following now Bessemer walking through there.
Do they seem okay? This is a strange question. Are the patterns in the wallpaper related to the creature? Like, are they one and linked? Are they all the house?
It is the same. It is the same pattern. They're both the same thing.
So it's all just we're interacting with the house right now. It seems
quite possibly.
Okay. I'm still not sure what it wants with arson.
Yeah, come back.
I mean, also, isn't arson a ghost?
Arson is a human folk. Arson was working.
Oh no, the other person was a ghost. Okay.
Yeah.
She was walking with a ghost.
You mean outside or in the movie?
No, outside.
Yes, was walking with a ghost. Mandabelle, the ghost who initially
out of her head, out of her mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a song. Okay.
I don't know it, unfortunately.
All right. You know what, everybody?
I'm sorry. I normally get references.
I was just sitting there singing it in my head, not even thinking about it, and then was like, I was just sitting back like.
All right. That's fine. See, this is why you have to make me work for her. Anyway.
So as it's following, Beans, you are seeing the pattern of the wallpaper follow it through. In addition to the wallpaper, and you don't know if this is happening or not, but you see, it seems like the wall around it is sort of folding itself up, like revealing more rotted planks behind it, and just sort of like going into the hallway with this creature. Like whatever section of this house is just trailing along behind it.
Is that causing any structural problems, or just
yes, it is. It is starting to pull away the floorboards and the sides of the walls bit by bit.
Load-bearing wallpaper.
What? Wait, what did you say?
It's load-bearing wallpaper.
It is indeed load-bearing wallpaper. It is also taking away chunks of the masonite or whatever drywall there is, the plaster and the lime. Whatever house part that you have found yourself in is following with the creature. I should also mention that aside from whatever lights you have on you, as this flame creature, this imp, follows along in like a nice little train. There's the monster, there's Bessemer, and then there's the flame, leaving you in increasing darkness in this area, which is rapidly seems to be deconstructing.
I have an important question, and it is: we are in a ballroom, and parts of it are falling apart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do we get a Phantom of the Opera style chandelier fall?
Well, now that you said it, of course.
Does an organ play first?
I think that there's been organ music. I mean, there's been organ music playing in my head, like there always is. So,
right. So there you
go. Yeah. There's okay. So there is a loud crash as some far away in the ceiling, falling down is a bizarre and large chandelier, and that chandelier is also covered in the same dark stain that's on the floor and that's on the stairwells and some of the accoutrement in the building. It falls with a crash. It doesn't hit anybody, but it is now blocking the way in between you. We'll have to go around it.
Okay.
Very troubling.
From somewhere far off, an organ chord plays.
Bum, bum, bum,
All
bum,
right, you know what? I'm gonna go get
bum.
Arson. Okay, I know there's some other stuff. I'm just gonna like walk out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
find her, and then we'll try to like, you know.
Sing for me. Reconvene.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think Beans says to her suit, "That's a great idea," but it comes out as like, but I also think Beans is trying to talk to the house not to go, and realizes this is like an apocalyptic architecture fail. And in his head, I think it's whatever the early modern equivalent of the I don't want to leave you Aerosmith song in the Asteroid movie. And I think the thing
that was a really
mechanically-
great cascade of references to something like alluding to it.
Yeah, Beans is
fantastic.
Beans has eaten mushrooms before. He lives in the woods.
I don't want to fall. If he's
Yeah, I don't want to. But what I'd like to do mechanically is it possible to roll reason to figure out what the hell, like basically, are we in danger either accidentally or on purpose from the house or from something else? Because it feels like there's levels of spookiness, and I guess I'm trying to figure out now that we've met like the avatar of the house. Yeah, like what is going on? Because if it's leaving and it's going to physically kill us just by walking away from us, like, is that a flex or is that just a weird accident? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, to sort of understand the metaphysical architecture of this room.
Yeah, it would be like an investigator to be wrapped up in details like that, wouldn't it?
Yes, and singing Aerosmith, which is one of the first things they teach you.
Yeah,
Famous French
you heard it
band,
on
Aerosmith.
you heard it on a Bakelite LP somewhere. I think let's see, if you're on this thing, I would like you to roll will instead of reason for this.
Is there any way to make it a reason check? Because I'm trying to use the power deduce what you say. Which actually
deduce you say. Yes, in that case,
inducing
go
from
for
detail.
it. Go for
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is an extreme, like you are fighting to make it reason through the fog of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow it because as have you spent some time as a skunk and clearly have eaten rancid hallucinogenic berries and mushrooms. Maybe as a detective, but definitely as a skunk.
Well, I'm specifically focused on the architecture part, which was why I would think it would make sense, because I'm not asking. I'm only looking at the wallpaper I'm trapped in. So I'm burning a point of grit, which gives me +3, which is the unnatural stability that you're really good at science, basically, but like this sometimes science. So I'm rolling a d12 +3. So this is like my good thing I'm good at. 4 + 3 is a 7.
Excellent. So yeah, so you are focusing on. So it is not flexing, but you are definitely in danger. Partly from the architecture collapsing, partly also as the house. This is where it gets a little into the weeds. So bear with me. I'm gonna try and say a thing in my notes. Let's see. As the house is moving
to find the thing.
Dude, going in the weeds to find the plot. Into the plot which has gotten away from him. You are trying to deduce. It is not a flex. It is an accident that you are in danger. The house thinks that it is being helpful by taking you to where you need to go. However, in vacating the space, this other structure of house is still there, and you are in danger not only from the architecture itself, sort of following and collapsing in its wake. It is also leaving something else exposed, something which it may or may not be aware of. In addition to house, there was also something within the house, something that is of the house.
Into the woods to visit trauma.
It is the charred remnants of another structure. You are on the first floor. Yeah, it is flooded and charred Icarus. It is whatever is being left behind is almost like the wood stained wet version of the house. Much larger, and it's it wasn't there before. This is not where the House of Breeze is. This is something else. And in moving away, the house is leaving this sort of like shadow structure behind. And it is not happy. So that's where you're at. It's chilly.
Like it's had the covers taken off of it at night. It's not nice.
It's somewhere between that, or it's like it's like when you turn the lights on and the set disappears. If you turn the lights off, and then the set is somehow exposed. Yeah, turn off the dark. There you go.
Wow.
And no one can sing a single song from that show because I guarantee you none of us know.
Nice City, I'll take it. Bar one.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, it's Julie
no
Taymor.
idea.
People die.
I can't sing. Dude.
Is there any way to communicate this with the party, or am I unable to speak because
that's on you. I think that you're able to, if you want to, at great sort of psychological cost, get through just the screeching that you're having if you are trying to say something to them. They're still in shouting distance. They haven't moved so far away that they can't hear you.
No, I just try to. I think because Hirsute and Bessemer kind of left, right? So I think I'm trying to kind of reach Fasole.
Yeah.
Or are you all
crazy,
together?
because I would love this.
Yeah. But basically the first time I'm like running up to Fasole or swimming up on the floor. And I'm trying to say, I think I just now sound like a Muppet
is sort of retreating from the collapsing structure, particularly after the chandelier, and just sort of picks Beans up by the scruff and says, "We've got to go."
Yes, I know. Now I know that the house doesn't know there's another house, and I don't actually totally know
Another house.
There's something wrong with the architecture, and the house may not be aware that there's a problem here that of a magical nature, which we must. Oh my! Why did I drink the thing off the floor?
Because it was delicious and amazing.
I drank it out of a glass.
Well, good for you, huzzah! We have other things to do than brag about our drinking abilities.
It's the same thing.
Our humanoid body plan.
Well, Beans, how do we tell the house that the house is collapsing because the house is inside the house?
I guess
it's coming from inside the house.
Try words or maybe a picture. Bessemer tried singing. It seems to like singing. Maybe she can sing again?
Maybe the house needs to collapse. Have you ever thought about that? Just yelling that from over here while I'm walking away. Just hey, maybe the house needs to fucking collapse. I don't know.
Just let it all come crashing down.
My brother makes a point.
I think there's an issue here with consent. If it knows, if it's choosing to collapse and we just die by accident, then that sort of sucks for us. But I guess good for the house that it recovered its mojo. But if it does not know, and this is sort of an ailment or disorder, perhaps again Bessemer, who seems to be good at singing, healing magic, could at least give it some options as a good physic or empiric would. Maybe I can lance your metaphorical boils. This sort of thing, yes? Let's talk to the house.
I assume that I'm not in the room. That I'm not with. I'm ahead of you, yeah?
Yeah, you're up ahead. You are basically tra-la-laing along, fixated on this immense sort of like structural creature. And
have
behind
I
you
noticed things pulling about, or am I just like
that's up to you. You can also roll for observation or some such.
Let's see what I want to roll for.
And then I think I have a play after this.
I do want to do a I want to do a reason check because I think I would be like wheels spinning.
Wheels within wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a D12. Let's see. 12, baby.
So yeah, you are skipping along, metaphorically or literally, I don't know. Inside your pack is a cowering, exhausted paper towel friend, and you have not been listening to the sort of like little murmurs of just like gotta just organize again, not gonna think about it. But as you're walking along, you hear behind you like the clack 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 clack, and this lights of this creature's eyes are flickering. And then the light of this imp, this flame which you have befriended is flickering as well. And then you sort of stop and you realize that behind you, some of those sounds and some of the images that you're seeing are not lining up. The clapboards and the sort of like the wood paneling on the floors and the stuff. Like it is the sound of an area sort of folding up and clatter, moving along with. So even though you can't see like behind this imp, you're hazarding a guess that like, oh, this is somehow part or essence or avatar of this house, and it is leaving something behind, meaning that not only are the people behind you in danger, but there really shouldn't be anything behind it. So what is there if the house is moving with you guys?
Well, right. And where is it going? And where is it coming from? This is all very exciting. Does it feel familiar at all?
It does, and I'm going to say that since you rolled the 12. When you rolled a brain candle, or when you cast brain candle and were inside the mind of the house, you encountered one door covered with the same Icarus dark liquid that was underneath you in the House of Eaves, the basement. That sort of, and you realized while you were in there, you sussed out that it had the smell and feel of a wood stain. That sort of Icarus, this pungent liquid. And that's that feeling of that wood stain, that dark, like something wrong, something scarred, that flooded sort of like waterfall of the door itself when you were trying to ease its conscience or ease its mind or whatever was wrong with it. That same stain is a stain that you've encountered around the house, and the stuff that is being left behind seems to be coated in it. Seems to be some sort of structure covered in this handsome dark wood stain, the resinous, which you encountered inside its mind.
Interesting. And have I ever encountered any material like this before?
That's again with the 12. I would probably say that you remember reading something like a long time ago, like one of the bog witches that like trained you back when you were like getting your medical education. Somebody had at some point mentioned something about the different kinds of like the different kinds of liquids that can be used for possession, of the old school, the kind that like are very, very forbidden and illegal now, but one must always be on the lookout for. And it was like something from the heart of the something tree, blah blah blah, found in the northern regions of Copia. Used in structures, something had been banned several hundred years ago for its deleterious effects.
Okay, so with this thought, I would like to hold on, I'm just realizing I didn't burn my grit earlier. So I wanted to make sure I knew what I had left. Okay.
Meanwhile, the sound of organs in the background, the clattering of clapboards, the crashing of a chandelier behind you somewhere, and the flickering of lights, which may or may not be a projector.
And presumably Fasole and Beans are like kind of screaming cartoon running away from
running, and as you're running, your running is also like it's getting slower, like a dream, like you're trying to catch up.
Well, and what I imagine is that we're sort of trying to chase this personification of the house, this monstrous personification of the house, around which there is a calm bit as everything else around it in front and behind is collapsing. We're trying to stay in the circle. Yeah.
And don't worry, Fasole, after this turn we will get back to your move.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do I get outside? So actually after this I'll ask.
Okay, great.
I have a question for third sight. It's D6 grit. Do I roll or do I choose?
You roll D6 for it.
I roll a D6, and however much grit it is, that's the cost.
It's a fixed spell.
Okay. this is hard because it's very exciting, but it's also very high stakes. And my friends / acquaintances are
friends
in trouble, and so is
Pursuit is
the
like, whoa, friends,
fucking
let's
house.
hold up here.
Yeah, and I get that. That's why I went and or acquaintances. And Bessemer, that doesn't bother. He's fine.
I'm just saying, it's been hours. We've known each other for hours, like not days.
Right.
Just
I think
Well,
we're
new
friends.
best friends.
Trauma bond.
We are
Trauma
the three
bonded.
best friends
Trauma
that
bond.
anyone could have. We are the three best. Okay.
I'm saying it hasn't even been that traumatic, actually.
I wouldn't say best
Yeah,
friends. I
just
would
a
say
day
we're
job.
friends.
I want to use third sight, but I don't think I can right now. So instead, this is fucking killing me. I realize that I have to turn around and go
Ask
back.
for-
So
You could also
I-
ask for help with the spell. But you'll need to turn
yeah,
around and ask
but
people for it,
again, like, no, at this point, I don't think that's actually going to be the most beneficial thing. So, so I turn to the imp and I go, can you look after him for a minute? And I just walk past back to everyone else. I leave
Imp is like
imp
doing
that-
like the
taking
like,
care of the fucking house shadow demon.
yeah, the giant house entity sort of like looks with his glowing, flickering eyes, like, and then up at the imp, and they're just sort of they stand there for a moment.
I go, I will be right back.
The house creature starts moving forward, and the imp is sort of like, actually, you're good for now. Okay. It is temporarily. It is listening to the flame friend imp for the moment.
Okay. I run back and I go, guys, I don't think it's very good. And I relay the information that we just got.
About the resin.
Yeah, I was like, listen,
Okay.
I was reading back in the day, and there's this stuff. It's not good. And I kind of explain that, like, that whole, like, this idea of leaving behind and what shouldn't be left behind. And it looks like DCI Beans is picking up what I'm putting down.
We're all in the same place, and we're all now aware that the house is not the problem. There's a problem in it, like
Within it.
separate from the house, just as weird. But the house is not scary, right?
Right,
We're all-
there's
is
a
that
meta
the
house and there's a resin that's
Right.
the house is trying to escape, which is destroying the house.
resinous meta house? Yeah, that's gonna
the
cost you a
resin
pretty
is.
penny.
Oh, I thought. Well, I understood it as the resin is analogous to the outlawed mind control juice, right? That's what I got. Right.
It's,
Okay.
it is a substance that is somehow present in whatever's left when the house moves away. There's something.
And
something's
you
been
licking
used.
the house was what fucked up Beans' mind.
Correctum anew.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, just
do I
licking the
guess-
house.
Just
cause a
licking the
problem?
house. You got a little taste of that.
Of the
you got a little
resin.
taste of that. That wood stain.
Oh, so it's like someone poisoned the house? Is that what we think happened? Does Bessemer, do you know what's going on here?
Everything I know, I've told you. I cannot promise that I will not have another thought in a few minutes that I haven't told you yet.
Damn it, Bessemer, and your riddles.
I just meant it.
I kind of wish I was a journeyer, actually, but now that I think about it.
You could
Yeah,
get us
you
out
could
of
drive
here.
a car into the poison.
No, the other one. The other one. One of the other ones, not that one.
Fair.
That's how I deal with
result.
all poisoned architecture. I drive a car.
Crash a
into
car
it.
into it.
There's
Let
one
the
that you just
yolk drip
connect.
down. Let the yolk drip down.
Oh, X journeyer.
You mean the one that you teleport?
connects two pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, you could just like walk across like you walking from one comic panel to another, like in the game Comic
like
Zone
that.
for the Sega Genesis.
What an amazing
Anyway,
game that
well,
was. Give me the respect I deserve. Anyway.
But what I wanted to ask was, I want to go outside and look for arson.
Okay, so
Yes.
you wanna go back the way that you came, up the stairwell, back.
Yeah,
back
that's
up
what
the
I was
dirt
like
stairs.
doing way back I guess like right after Beans started tripping balls.
Yeah, you can do that. It is pitch dark in the area where the house has vacated this structure. But if you've got a torch or some other means, or you just want to fumble through the dark, you can absolutely make your way back from whence you came. It seems like it is a 1-to-1. What is being removed has been replaced by the shadow version of itself. So you would know the way.
I can't just like walk through it.
You can walk through it. It'll just be dark.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So
walk.
In a moment, you will probably need to roll a move check. But Fasole,
It's fine with me.
What's up
It's
on
my
deck?
highest stat.
So has Bessemer's action briefly calmed the personification of the house into not trotting away?
Yes. Yes. She won her persuasion, and it is for the moment stopped as the imp sort of got the message and is holding up the house.
Great. I was going to do that. So my move is no longer relevant yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
you beat me to it.
Her suit. Make a move. Unless there's something else you would like to do for your turn.
I think for my turn, I was going to use Shoulder Squat, which I used last session, but I won't use that yet. I think I will go to the personification and just sort of just conversationally with authority say, what is it that you're running away from?
The house looks to the imp. The imp looks back. He blinks, and when he blinks, the blinding light of his like almost projector-like eyes shut off and turn back on. Almost like he's giving thought. Shakes his large lumbering head. It's like no, like not running away. Like in points, like going to.
I see. Well, what are you going to?
He looks again to the flickering flame. The flickering flame. Briefly. Thinks for a second. Actually. Yeah. Looks at the house structure, the personification, and briefly, he doesn't have the helmet anymore, right? He's just a flame guy.
I've taken the helmet back. I'm holding it at my side because it's still very hot.
So the flame imp leaps inside the lumbering entity, and very briefly, you see that his glowing eyes like flicker like a projector, and then it is blinking and. So they are having great trouble with this. There's like shaking and lumbering, and they're sort of like howling as they're trying to figure out this internal like shakeup. Everything's sort of rumbling, and then it resolves itself, and it blinks, and it puts its eyes against one of the wallpapered walls, and there is a binocular projection of a viewpoint, and they are pointing. So you are seeing again a movie. Only this time it is a lot better. It seems that working with the house is they're creating like a better image of what's happening. And you see a viewpoint moving through many different rooms of the house. It's zooming and it's zooming through the darkness, and then suddenly in this very sort of dramatic Tim Burton-y kind of way, like resolves itself against a stairwell and a door behind the stairwell. And there, the door opens up, and there is a flood of this black liquid. Not black. This dark gray liquid is coming out of it, like streaming and pouring. And then it like sort of shudders and it shuts its eyes.
Was it like brown instead, or what?
It's like a dark gray. It's like a really like it's like a wood stain that is like when furniture isn't black, but it's like that dark gray. It looks really old timey.
Well, it's like the color
fancy.
of a lot of blood, right?
So also the color of a lot of blood when it dries. That's very astute.
So I think with that sort of disturbing image, Soleil sort of has, well, on your way to the ocean. You're falling apart. And just picks up. I think probably the board that he had
That's just like
taken off and then put back earlier, and just picks it back up, and it's broken in half.
So you hand it to the structure who picks it up, looks at it and drops it, and it snaps back in place instantly onto like where the floor should be if a panel was like that, and looks behind it, and then starts goes like this, like doesn't follow me, doesn't say it, but just like sort of, and it starts lumbering very, very swiftly down the corridor, with the imp now outside of it again, like running afterwards.
And then I assume everything is falling apart in the opposite
direction.
direction.
Oh yeah, 100%. As it's lumbering, as it's taking stuff with it, like the hallway is.
I think Vasily was taking his hammer out to start helping and was like, "Oh no!"
Are you trying to do emergency repairs like as you go?
Badly, yeah. I mean, I'll roll something for it, but
tonight on this old house, we're going to be repairing this house very quickly.
This is a great cartoon logic to that.
That is exactly what Bessemer does. She goes, tonight on this old house, we're going to... And she just starts, like, doing this weird musical improv comedy about everything that could be staying in place instead of moving.
So is Bessemer, are you running in pace with Fasole, trying to keep up with this creature as it, like, the house dims behind
I'm standing in one place. I don't move.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah.
I'm very powerful.
So the situation has gotten real intense for Bessemer. So her suit, make me a move check.
No, I got a 1.
You got a 1?
Yeah.
So on your way walking, you trip over a chandelier. You bang into a side with a clatter.
Fucking blame Sia for that shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. You are stumbling. It is rough going. Take 1 damage. But you are slowly making your way back to the same place. Say again.
That was the first damage I've taken this entire time.
There you go. You're all set. Oh no, Nick.
Oh wait, does my armor? Wait, does it? Don't I reduce it with my armor?
Yeah. What kind of armor do you have?
I got a vest.
If it's a vest, so your vest has taken 1 damage. If it is sail armor, then it is going to take a couple more hits and then be no good.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me look at it.
You have the bonded armor, right?
No, I just have a vest.
No, you have bonded armor as a knight.
Yeah,
I thought we were both knights.
No, I'm a needle.
Are you a knight?
I'm a needle.
Yeah.
I got the Brigandy. I think. Yeah, Brigandy armor. For the 20 gold. That's DR2.
Yeah, you're every time you hit it, there's like a clong. Maybe a little spark comes out if you hit it with a piece of metal. But you do not take damage, and you find your way to the dirt stairwell. As you make your way out.
Yeah. All right. Now where's Arson?
So now outside where you are, there doesn't seem to be anybody there. In fact, the entire this courtyard area of the plaza seems to be deserted. You don't see the actor, you don't see X-Benign. You don't see the ghosts who were threatening a walkout. Not this very day.
Hey, what time of day is it?
I would have to go back. Let's just say it's night because that's cooler. I don't remember what time you started this campaign.
It was afternoon, or I don't remember if it was afternoon or morning, but I think it's fair to say
it's nighttime now.
Time has passed.
It's dark.
It's been a few hours.
It's dark. There's glowing.
So it definitely wasn't like early morning.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess I'll walk to Arson's office. Then we pass an office or something, or wherever you go get the tickets.
So you pass by there, and the door is shut.
I kicked the door down.
You kick the door down.
Yeah.
Inside is Bessemer inside there is Arson.
Bessemer, what are you doing?
Bessemer, wait, it was I all along. They got the name wrong. I would love rules where if somebody gets a name wrong, that actually changes the state change. In the game.
That's a great, that should be like one of the spaces we've talked about, Ethan, the like weird other dimensions of the Sunrise Kingdom.
Brilliant. I love that.
So there's Arson sitting in her behind her desk, and she has got like a stack of slips and papers and chiefs and is looking through Skull, and she looks up and she says, "What the hell do you want?"
Okay, so we have found the missing crew members. I took them outside. And I believe they already talked to you, so I assume because they're gone. But
oh yeah, they did. Yeah, we've evacuated the whole area.
Yeah, so the house, they talked about the house being evil or whatever.
I'm sorry, house being evil.
It's like moving and shifting.
The house is moving
and shifting.
Well, she peeks outside of her office and looks, and she's like, "That." Which house?
On the foundation and underneath.
It's moving.
Yeah. Also, it seems to have played a video. I think it's either obsessed with you or something.
I'm sorry. I'm confused.
This is like a flirting versus sexual harassment thing, I assume. Yeah.
That's highly unlikely, but.
It summoned an imp and it showed a video of you in a ballroom.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you remember flirting with a house?
I wasn't flirting with it. That's oh boy. Oh, so it showed you. Did it show you anything else about the ballroom? That's
It was a tall guy.
Oh, all right.
Does she hear like us like in this like rumbling, falling apart ballroom, just yelling, "The ballroom's falling apart"?
It's like a smash cut too, and then back again.
I guess like go break up with it, or tell her you're not interested, or if you want to fuck a house. Whatever.
No, I did not. Wow, this is all a lot to take in. All right.
But presumably, once you get involved, you will solve the mystery of the.
Oh yeah, I'll solve it. You got it. You got it right there. I'll solve this right now. I'll solve this. I'll solve this immediately. And she, reaches behind her desk. Pulls out like from a red drawer, pulls out a scepter.
She pulls out 38 special. Like, what did she do?
That would be. I feel like a scepter with a quartz sphere on the top of it is like the equivalent of a 38 special here.
She's gonna shoot the house.
Yeah, she's like, oh, we're gonna. Yeah, so she's like, oh well, this she turns to her suit and she says, okay, well, none of this happened. Obviously, this has all been a huge misunderstanding. What a thing. I've got a bunch of ghosts to fire.
With the spirit of a house?
No, absolutely not. You're fired, and I'm gonna go fire a bunch of ghosts, and then I gotta go take care of something. Hold on. Okay. She walks out the door, like stomping down the outside of her office, holding this scepter.
I follow her.
You hear again, like from very far away. Do you think they'll pay us if the house falls down?
No, I think we'll be dead, and hopefully they'll
hang
pay
on,
our
lady.
next
You're
of
not
kin.
firing me.
I'm continuing to sing narrations of what happened.
While it all comes down around you. Yeah. Just saying, all right, well, I can't. I suppose if you're a licensed adventurer, I can't technically fire you, but this has gone on too long. I've indulged this. It's
Indulged what? Were you flirting with a house this whole time? What the fuck?
Wait, hang on. Flirting with a house?
Hey, what are you doing? Like, what was going on with the house?
There was an agreement put in place. This is everybody's reneging on everything. This is terrible. I gotta go.
If you dance with a house, it'll give you special treats. Like, what do you mean?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
His voice for long enough.
You're getting hoarse, yeah. She's like she stopped short, and and she's sort of like she's holding the scepter, and she's sort of like it's clear that she's summoning some sort of like thing into it. It's it's starting to glow in a classic fantasy tropey sort of way. Just like it's quartzite, good for demolishing structures. This is, look, this was a handshake agreement. This was all supposed to resolve itself. This is what you get for. She gets so mad that like her hair actually starts like flaming on the top magically. As she's just like, I told them that we should just automate this whole thing, but no.
Well, I feel like automation is part of the issue.
You might be right. You might be wrong. All I know is that hiring ghosts has been nothing but trouble. And now with them sort of threatening this walkout, I thought we would just default back to what we were planning on in the first place. Just we'll have some great haunted houses. There's nobody running them. Just the haunted houses doing their thing. Everybody's ooky spooky. They had to bring in actors and professionals and make it be lived in, like be more experiential, whatever that means. It's getting expensive and it's getting complicated.
It really doesn't seem like it's the ghosts that are the problem. It seems like it's the foundation of the actual like houses. There's the problem. It has nothing to do with the workers, honestly.
She says it has everything to do with the workers.
Unless you bound the soul of several workers into the foundation of the house in some sort of sick sacrificial thing.
She gets really, really quiet and stops as she's walking and looks down at the scepter and then looks at you again and points the scepter at your chest. And she's like, this conversation didn't super happen. I think maybe we can agree on that.
It's more me admonishing you than a conversation, honestly. More like a scolding or something.
Yeah. I guess there's no need to. Roll for initiative.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna fuck this person up. Okay.
Ethan, should we all roll or no? Because no one else is there. I think the latter makes sense. I just want to check in case you wanted us all to roll.
Not all of you roll. Someday I will figure out a way to do a concurrent magic, like place dislocated fighting spell. But I didn't work it into the plot, so la.
I mean,
and then magically you're all there also, and it just happened. And it's magic.
Yeah, like actually, what kind of tag does this scepter have?
You would know that scepter has an autumn tag to it. This is
I think that's the one I don't have.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right, that's fine. I don't have to steal it. I can't steal. That's not the class that steals. Why don't I have a steal? That's fine. I'll get over it. Yeah. So roll initiative. Yeah. Yeah. I have a double stab though, at least.
Excellent.
1d12. Oh, I got a 12. Wow.
Oh,
I got a 1 and then a 12. Yeah.
Nice.
It's in one-offs.
Okay. You have the first move.
This fucking stab. What do you mean? All right. All right, 2 short swords.
You're like, you have been annoying me for literally hours. I can't take it anymore.
Well, she pointed the scepter at me, and that's probable cause or whatever.
Absolutely.
You call
it is a scepter's a gun.
Yeah. It can be many things. It definitely, she can't be like, oh, I'm. Yeah.
If you're in a world with magic in it and someone points a scepter at you, you assume that there's going to be a magic ray.
It's more the tone of how she said the other stuff, kind of. I feel like
so I spent 4 grit.
She didn't say the other stuff.
So yeah, I'm using the move. So I am a needle, and a needle is an assassin, a thief with manners, a wielder of small and sharp things. And there's no special steal move, but I can do a few things such as I can vanish into the air or void around me. And I can also do something called Stab Strop, which is I double attack with short blades. So that's so I spent 4 grit. I still have to do the attack roll to attack, right? I assume.
Yes.
And hang on. I didn't put this fucking stats for short sword. So I'm scrolling all the way down. Where's short sword? It's on the second page. So out of my like the back of my rib cage, it's like they're like interlaced with my rib cages, but my rib cage, but on the like the back. So I just like pull them out from there, and I attempt to, I guess like, oh, what's it? Do we have called shot in this one? I forgot.
I think you should do the same basic moves as in Stillfleet, right? I mean, Ethan, is that something you wanted to do differently in this game?
Yeah, we can graft it on. I mean, these sort of combat mechanics are something that we are still sussing out. So I'm actually very intrigued to see it.
Call shot is in the rule book.
Yeah, I think it's currently. Sorry, I should say it is currently the same as Stillfleet. But if you think it should be different, we can decide.
I think
so
for now,
basically,
let's keep it the same for now and see how it goes.
All right, so I'm basically trying to get her hand. So I'm using stabs drop to attack twice. So I'm rolling 4d8, keep the lowest.
All right.
The lowest 2. And let's see if this works. So that's a 7, 7, 6, and 3. So one stab is a 7 and one is a 3 to hit. So 3 to hit and 7 to hit.
Okay, and let's see. She is wearing an enchanted shirt, but that is it. Let's see what we got here for this move. And what? That's a weird symbol. I'm using that dice. Let's see.
So yeah, 2 move checks. And I'm attacking her hand, basically trying to.
So you're trying to disarm her immediately. So that's a 1 and a 5.
Okay, so the first hit actually gets her, and I guess you want me to roll for damage then. Or
go for it.
1d8. That is 5 damage.
Yeah. So you deftly and expertly pull out your both of your knives and in a 1-2 slice attack her wrist. And it slashes right through the first, in quotes, like level of enchantment of her dress shirt, and it stabs her in the wrist, and she is gripping the scepter. She, one of her hands holding it like falls off as she's like trying to both like now hold the scepter with one hand so that it's a 2-hand weapon, so it doesn't work so well, and like trying to like I guess like nurse or hold the other one as you like.
Yeah, because like if you're gripping the wrist, you're actually like increasing blood flow. If you're gripping the scepter, you're like increasing blood flow to the wrist, and then like you're trying to like kind of making. I assume you're making like the blood spurt out more. I'm not.
Yeah, there's definitely it's getting on her shirt. It has ruined her grip on the scepter, and she is making the problem worse because she is not a fighter. Yeah. So as she's doing that, then she also attempts to cast. Let's see. She attempts to cast beam with this burning tin grit. And let's see here.
Never bring a laser to a knife fight.
Yeah. You say that, but in this case, the knife might very well.
Me. She
Yeah,
vaporizes me.
She's got she definitely has a minus on her move right now after being stabbed and is not holding this weapon properly.
Yeah, well, it's like with the knife fight, like don't get into a knife fight if you don't want to be stabbed because you're gonna be stabbed. It's like don't get into a laser knife fight if you don't want to be like disintegrated. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a 4 roll to defend.
Yeah, that's not as I mean, I would have to roll very low. It's a 7.
Yeah. So she, this energetic sort of projection of light and heat and liquid quartz energia courses out of this, but in the wrong direction, and you definitely move out of the way. It does not do any damage.
I'll have you know, I cannot yawn, yet I wish I could.
She is fucking like furious. She's like now holding her wrist. She doesn't realize that it's getting it much worse. She's sort of failed this check. and just like her hair starts burning like a brighter.
I'm sorry, I didn't even roll
flame.
for the bleed. It's D4.
Oh yeah, go for it. That's right. It's
hang on. Let me just reread that. I should have like actually put the description. Oh, here it is. It's okay. So it's a D4 bleed. Roll. I should change my name to whatever my next character is, but it's 3 bleed. They have 3 bleed.
3 bleed. All right. So yeah, she is furious and is now sort of turning tail. But before she starts running, there's something going on with her physical form. It's turning sort of a translucent orange for a moment, and she casts an X-Journeyer spell. And in a flash and in a flare of cursing and a little bit of brimstone and a pile of leaves appear where she was before. She has disappeared from this spot.
I mean, I could do that too. It's not that interesting.
That's illegal.
I'm just saying, I could also do that. I mean, it's not that interesting. You don't need magic to do that, honestly. But you can't afford a car. You need magic to fucking transport.
That don't impress me much.
Yeah.
So if you're facing her office, let's see on the Chamber of the Seasons, you may or may not notice out of the corner of your eye that the X-Journeyer spell. This is not a place that she has traveled to before, so it's not knit. She is appearing, stumbling and bleeding, some 40 yards away, at the door of the House of Eaves, or at the House of Breeze, and is just running into the front door of the Autumn House.
So where's everyone else?
Everyone else is in the House of Breeze.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still sort of like now Fasole has joined in the like improv singing, like trying to calm this house down, like
trying
demons will charm you with a smile. Like,
you mean angels? Oh wait, I'm not there, but
I'm an angel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I'm warding them away from demons.
Yeah, so I think at this point I'm gonna do another one of those. Oh wow, yeah. So you're actually still calming it down. It is not lumbering down, running away like it was. It's as chunks of it are starting like to fall around. And then like down the hallway, you hear from up the stairwell, you hear a "What the fuck are you doing in there?"
They're singing. I think DCI Beans, as an animal trapped in a falling, poisoned architecture, don't fuck with that shit. Yeah. And I think as a woodland animal, I would just have run all of the way out of the house and would be running into whoever is entering the house as I'm trying to escape the twin horrors of poisoned anti-architecture and musical theater.
And it's many tediums.
No, you guys are great. Please keep singing. I just it's acting. Right. Acting as a character.
Yeah. So you bump into Arson as she manifests herself with another pop and an orange glow and a pile of orange leaves. She's right in front of you, and you. Like she tries to do that thing of where you move to the left and the right of somebody.
Does she look like the same civilian thespian whom I met earlier, or does she look like a dangerous wand waver? Like a wand?
She has got blood running down one hand. She is holding onto a scepter. She's definitely the person that you met before. She has a very furious, angry look in her eyes. Her hair is actually a flame.
Brain Beans is.
Extremely cop brain. Beans is
so you shoot her, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
I think. Well, no, I have to. I can't shoot her and warn her at the same time because I have to use my mouth.
Yes, you can.
Well, I would if I could, but I'm a skunk. So I think
you can.
I yell, freeze, and then try to get the Derringer out of the bag using my paws and my mouth.
She says, "No, that's the house behind us."
There's no time for puns, civilian. This is a dangerous zone. You must leave immediately. I am here for your safety. Also, maybe for other reasons. But why don't we leave the house?
at this point, like she's not pointing the scepter at you, but she is sort of like, trying to like really rudely, I should say, very in full violation of good manners, to sort of like trying to kick you as a skunk out of the way, just being like, out of my way.
Yeah, I think I would fire a warning shot to no, I don't know. I'm not even
don't shoot the house, don't shoot the house. Yeah, shoot the house, see what happens. Do it.
I don't have any grit. Oh my god.
Shoot the
No.
Shoot the house.
No, I pull out the grenade. I'm sorry, Ethan. I pull out the one raspberry grenade. I have a single raspberry grenade. So it looks like a large raspberry. And
No.
I
Banned
pulled
by the Geneva
The kind you-
Convention.
I
The
pulled
raspberry
the
grenade,
pin.
the kind you try in a fecund land war.
Yeah,
I love that works with the song.
it works so good. I pull the pin and throw. I'm trying to hit her with a hot jam grenade so she is stuck and she will, stop waving wands and stop entering dangerous house and whatever.
Stop bleeding.
Yeah, stop bleeding.
Stop
like
bleeding.
this is to me a very logical use of.
That is a totally logical use of a raspberry grenade.
Yeah. So can I roll to hit, or
This
is this
isn't
are we in
America.
initiative?
Yeah, your initiative.
Okay. Do I need? I probably should. Okay, I should roll initiative and then I should roll the hit, right?
Or we can end on a cliffhanger because it is 9
We could.
o'clock.
Yeah.
That is true. Okay, and
With
Ethan,
the
you can
raspberry
write it
grenade
down?
in the air. What?
I got a 3 in initiative. I'll write it on my character sheet.
I got a 2. You
Wow.
go first.
I'm
This is
singing.
not her day.
Yeah, she's really
All
having
right.
a bad day.
got
Great.
one.
And then I think Ethan, you should do though, just everyone's in one initiative and different, and then they can
Excellent.
join
Let's do
in
it.
zone. That's just my light suggestion. So it's like we can all just go around. But yeah, I think that's a great place to end. If everyone else does everyone agree? We're gonna end here in a big cliffhanger with. Seems like Arson is either the bad guy or just about to get cop murdered by hot jam. But let's find out
Dark.
As
next
a
time.
house
The
falls
dark.
on all of us.
Yeah, as like the fall of the House of Usher happens, and we're all just
Yeah,
murdered
Deus
by
ex machina.
whatever the hell is going on. This is great.
Yeah.
All right. Any final cliffhanger notes, Ethan? Anything you want us to remember? Write down. Warn us about. Foreshadow?
Yeah, this is really great because next week is going to be Infrastructure Week.
Ooh,
In 2
Yeah.
weeks.
I think
In
yes,
2 weeks,
that
that's
is-
right. It's always Infrastructure Week here in the Sunshine
Tomorrow's
Kingdom.
voting day.
Tomorrow's
So-
voting day here
Oh
in
yeah.
Vote.
New York.
Vote, everyone. Vote.
Vote.
And so we will be playing again, not the 13th, but the 20th for the big finale. So before the Day of Turkeys, we will be finding out what happens with this House
Perfect.
of
Autumnal
Eaves.
conclusion. Any parting
Um,
thoughts from anybody?
I sure stabbed her
Anything-
good,
I
huh?
think that was my parting thought.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I think you really made this possible for us to get her. If she's even the bad guy, I'm just going on a limb.
Yeah.
Wand waver.
Well, I will say,
I thought she was pretty bad.
well done. Just flat out saying the thing, like just excellently. I gotta say, you've.
Oh yeah, I just I didn't even
was
think about what I
fantastic.
was saying. I just said
Just
it. I just said it
amazing.
word. As it came out.
And then the words cascaded downwards, and yeah, I was no notes. 10 out of 10. I give
can't wait
it
to
10
find out
skeletal.
who the villain is, so that I
numbers.
can try to use Jaws on them. Which, if it is the power I have, and I don't have enough grit, if I roll wrong on it.
Yeah, I'm real out of grit. This is like
Yeah.
a real
Really?
Oh no, no!
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
all
I
used
could
in
roll
the
more than
first
my max
episode.
grit for its cost.
Yeah.
I find
No,
it difficult
if
if you only
if
use
I
it in
use
the
the
first
powers,
episode.
it might kill me. Yeah. This is great. All right, thanks Ethan for running the game. Thanks everybody for playing, and thanks anyone who was watching this now or on YouTube later. And we will see you in 2 weeks or in the
Thanks
past
for
if you watch it
playing,
later.
everyone. Big thank you to all of our players, and thank you to our viewers. And we hope to see you all
Yeah.
soon again. This was the Sometimes Kingdom Part 3.
I hope in the edit the outro is like Bach or some shit. Or what was
What's
the?
I think it's gonna-
suggestions?
Or it should be
music that
organ
you
music, like Goblin or something, like really,
Let's crowdsource that. People who
That's
are
a good-
musical, send me the music you want. We'll put it in. unless
Excellent.
it's copywritten by someone else.
Yeah,
which
it'll
case-
be public
In
domain.
which case,
public domain,
all of
public
it,
domain.
Everything
Yeah.
we did is copyrighted.
In fact, we're
Yeah.
just gonna do Rockwell. Somebody's watching me.
All right. On that note, bye bye.